What's up everyone, my name's Alpha, and today we're back with another Pokemon Challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon Omega Ruby, no we're not. We're on the other game, we're on Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, and today's challenge will be, can I beat Pokemon Alpha Sapphire Hardcore Nuzlocke using only red shiny Pokemon. This is actually different from our mono-type shiny Hardcore Nuzlockes. This is actually going to be based on colors, so the shiny Pokemon has to be a red shiny. Basically, you have to have your main color in the shiny, or a lot of the Pokemon has to be red to be able to count as this. So like Gyarados will count, which I completely forgot about Gyarados. I could have got a Gyarados. I did not get a Gyarados, guys. That's a little spoiler. Just completely forgot about Gyarados. I don't know why it didn't pop up on my menu of all the shiny Pokemon lists. Things like that, you can get Gyarados, but you can't get like an Aggron because it has red eyes. Does not count. It has to be one of the primary colors of that Pokemon. But anyways, we're also getting the rules of this. It's going to be a hardcore Nuzlocke, so I can only catch one Pokemon per route. Every Pokemon only has one life, so they do faint, they're dead forever. Gotta box them. There's a level cap based on the gym leader's highest levels, and we can't use items inside a battle, and must play on set mode. A lot of difficult rules that make the challenge a lot harder, but since we're playing on ORS, it should be alright, hopefully. And as well, each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments. So thanks so much for leaving a nickname in my previous challenge video. If you guys want to be nicknamed after your future Pokemon, just drop in the comments and hopefully I'll pick yours. And while I was down here, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me that you guys support my channel. Let's get into the challenge video itself. So I was actually pretty excited to do this. I'm not too fond of shiny hunting starters anymore. I don't feel that happy of getting any like shiny starters anymore because I've done it so long and it's more tedious to just restart in front of the bag. So I'm not too excited about the shiny starters anymore. But every other shiny where I'm just looking around, it feels more rewarding than actually just looking for the starter Pokemon because this is really mundane. Anyways, once we get our shiny Torchic that we started bashing on, we're gonna have it on our team. It's not red technically. I mean, orange is pretty close to red. It'll get to red once it evolves, so just bear with me for a little bit for the first gym, guys. Come on, bear with me. Actually, you're gonna have to bear with me a little bit because I also broke my own rule. I didn't. Okay, so I went out, faced May crit twice against me, and then I was trying to burn her at this point. She did not work. She beat me on this attempt, so I didn't want to lie to you guys, but I'm lying to you guys. I'm not going to restart for the shiny Torchic, and she almost beat me on the second rematch, so that was pretty bad, and her Mudkip was burnt. I don't know how bad this Torchic is, but it's pretty bad, but we at least beat May. We're not going to restart just because we lost to May. We're going to keep going. From now, if my Torchic ever dies, I'll replace it. I'll put a death on a death counter. But, you know, I just didn't want to, like, couple hours of me shiny hunting to be wasted because May decides just to crit me twice in one battle. So, anyways, let's get into Petalburg Woods next. So, Petalburg Woods, there's going to be another shiny Pokemon for us to encounter in here that is a red encounter. There's nothing stopping us from getting anything different. There's only one red shiny Pokemon in here, and that's going to be a Shroomish. I mean, there's a lot of Pokemon where its evolution is not red, but the main Pokemon or the basic first stage Pokemon is actually red. So, we're not going to go for those because it's a waste of time because we can't use them at the end game. We're going to prioritize Pokemon that are red through the entire line. So actually Shroomish is one of the good ones that have red throughout their entire bloodline. You can see the red polka dots also underneath its mushroom. It counts as a red shiny. We can capture the Shroomish, add it to our team, and lucky enough, because surprisingly, Torchic does not learn any moves to beat down the rock gym leaders. So lucky enough, we do have a Shroomish as we face up against Roxanne next. Roxanne is the rock type gym leader in the game, and we're going to start the battle off against her using obviously my Shroomish. Shroomish already has Mega Drain, so we can absolutely take that. I did not know this Geodude had Sturdy. Forgot about that completely. So we're going to Mega Drain down the Geodude and knock him out. And then her next Pokemon will be a Nosepass, which has more defense than you would imagine a Rock-type Pokemon to have. So we're going to actually put Leech Seed onto the Nosepass and eventually just drain it down using Mega Drain. One more Mega Drain would knock him out. We'll also learn a new move on my Shroomish called Headbutt. So yeah, we're not going to use that too often. But anyways, we're going to beat down Roxanne, get the first gym badge in the game. And now, since the level cap jumps to 16, we're able to evolve our Torchic that technically shouldn't be alive, but we'll just forget about it, into a Combuskin, and now it's more red than before. It gets more red as it keeps evolving. As you can see in the icon on the top right of my party, it looks pretty red, so we're going to take it as red. So from there, we're going to face up against Brawly next. Brawly is going to be the second gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Combuskin. Now, Combuskin shouldn't be doing not... Because now, Combuskin's attack... 35 power Peck does not do a lot of damage to him, so I decided to use Ember. Ember actually does more damage than Peck. I guess my special attack's a little higher than my physical attack, so we'll take that. We two-shot the Makuhita too, so yeah, Brawly is very bad. So we could get the second gym badge of the game pretty nicely. From there, we can go into Slateport's market and we're gonna buy some incense, which we could buy 1 incense at this moment because we're really poor. We're able to get some incense. We're also able to look at the TMs over here. Not too great, but we'll get some incense at least. And then we can go out into the next routes north of Slateport City, where there's another red shiny Pokemon we can get in the grass over here. And surprisingly, you would never guess who it is. It's already a red Pokemon. It's a Plusso. So we can actually get a shiny Plusso. As you can see, it just gets darkened. Its red ears and tail will get a little darkened, and I almost killed it with double kick. That was a terrible mistake, but we're able to capture the Plusso, add it to our team, and then face off against May next. Now this is technically the hardest rival battle fight in all Pokemon. Well, it's actually harder in Emerald, and especially if you have a Marsh Stomp going up against him. But in general, it shouldn't be that difficult. We're able to beat it, and we got very close. Our Plusso almost dies here already because my Combusken's out of commission because it got paralyzed, and the Slugma does a lot of damage to me. But luckily enough, we're able to pull through, beat down the Slugma, and we could beat May. Now we move on into the next gym. This is the only hard part about this gym, is to not get over the level cap. We don't want to get there. We actually want to face off against Watson under the level cap, and with our Combusken, we're going to do that as we're going to start the battle off against Watson, the 3rd gym leader in the game, also the electric type gym leader, with our Combusken. Now Combusken has some decent moves. I put the soft set on him, even though I don't think he could learn Bodos. So yeah, I don't know why I just gave him the soft set and then just proceeded to use double kick. Okay, we'll take that, I guess. He sends out his Voltorb next after I beat his Magnemite. He's going to Volt Switch into my double kick. Not the greatest plan, as he misses a Supersonic, and I'm able to knock out the Magneton. And yeah, we beat Watson basically, because the last Pokemon will be a Voltorb. He can't do too much to me, as he's going to charge, and then I outspeed him. And I Flame Charge, and I knock him out. So yeah, we beat Watson. From there, we're going to move on into Meteor Falls, and then I started shiny hunting for a shiny Solrock. Now, let me know if you guys realize what's wrong with this idea. Yeah, took me a little minute, like a good 20 minutes to realize, oh wait, I'm playing on Alpha Sapphire, and I can only get Lunatone. Solrock is exclusively on Omega Ruby and Ruby in general, so we can actually get a Solrock. Now, the purpose, I didn't think this through. I went for Alpha Sapphire because I knew I was going to get a Combusken, so I was going to make it more difficult because I'll face Kyogre at the end of the game. But I forgot, Solrock is in Omega Ruby. Yeah, I do that a lot. I just kind of forget about the exclusives in the game. But I'm too far in to restart, so we're just going to move forwards and just forget about Solrock. We're going to face off against the next gym leader in the game. We're going to face off against Flannery. Flannery's the fire type gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against her using my Combusken. Of course, who else we're going to use? We're going to Power Punch twice into a Slugma. Actually, yeah, twice into a Slugma pretty easily. And then from there, I just Power Punch again, one-shot the Numel, and then the final Pokemon will be a Torkoal, which I go for a Dig and one-shot it. Super easy, as we're able to beat down Flannery. I mean, that doesn't really count as a gym fight, I'm not gonna lie. From there, we're gonna face off against Norman next. Norman is gonna be the 5th gym leader in the game and also Norm type gym leader. He's actually one of the harder ones because he has a fully evolved Slacking. So we're gonna start the battle off against him using my Combusken. Now it gets into like bad situation because he goes for Yawn. I go for a Flame Charge. I was trying to outspeed him so I could use Dig, and then he goes for Yawn. So it gets annoying. I go out to my Breloom. Breloom, I don't know what I was doing with my Breloom. Eventually, I get the right idea. I switch into my Breloom and then use Rock Tomb so I could outspeed the Slacking. And then eventually, I could get some power-up punches against him using my Combusken. And the battle should kind of lean towards me a little more as I'm able to knock out the Slacking. Get a Flame Charge up as well, so that means I can outspeed his other Slacking. And also Power Punch to one-shot the Vigoroth. And then Dig to get away from the Slacking, because Retaliate would really hurt. And from there, Dig will actually just completely counter the Slacking because it just activates his Truant, and then a Power Punch would knock him out. Pretty simple, as we're able to beat down Norman and just get rid of Dig in the same time. From there, we're gonna actually go back into the desert, get ourselves a Claw Fossil because we completely forgot to get this. And then once we get the Claw Fossil, we can actually shiny hunt in the desert here. Now the desert's kind of annoying because there's trap pinches in here, and I don't have a flying type Pokemon, so I decided just to save the game at this point and then just keep looking for another shiny Pokemon. And if I find a trap pinch, I'll just have to kill it. If I get too high in levels killing the trap pinch, I'll just restart my game. And from there, we could actually get some decent levels on my Breloom, but we're gonna keep shiny hunting until we find ourselves a shiny Cacnea, which eventually we do find, and then we can finally capture it, add it to our team, and then get out of the desert because it's really annoying. And then from there, we're able to go into Rustboro City and revive our fossil into an Anariff. Now it takes actually a little bit. It's actually quick to get the encounters, but it still takes a little bit. Eventually, we're able to find ourselves a shiny Anariff, which is also a red shiny Pokemon. Pretty cool. we use Anorith a lot. Actually, Cradily and Anorith are both red, but I think Anorith is red in both the stages, as opposed to Cradily, which is only red when you evolve it. From there, we're going to face off against Winona next. Winona is the flying type gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against her using a Pokemon we haven't used in a little bit, Plusle. Now, Plusle, pretty useful in this gym. Plusle is going to start the battle off against her Swallow using a Discharge to knock her out, which is really nice. Her next Pokemon will be Altaria, which I go for 2 Charms against, since now his Earthquake can't actually do any damage. Earthquake does that much to a Plusle. Plusle is not that good defensively. So I'm able to go for 2 Discharges. I was kind of scared, so I went for Volt Switch. But Volt Switch will knock out the Altaria, as we're able to just beat down Winona pretty easily. I go out into my Anorith against her Skarmory. I get some Ancient Powers off against him. Should be scared of her Steel type move, but from there I can switch out back into my Plusle, which will do a lot of damage with Discharge and will knock him out. And then the final opponent will be a Pelipper, 1 Discharge away from knocking her out, and we're able to beat down Winona. So things got a little scary with my low HP. Should have put the Citrus Berry on, but we'll keep that until later. From there we can move out into this path right next to Fortree City. Now in this grass patch, obviously in this grass patch, there is one other Pokemon, that final Pokemon on our team. We're gonna get ourselves a shiny Absol, and Absol, actually it actually grew on me a lot. Growing up, a lot of people hyped up Absol. Wasn't a fan of it at all because it was so useless, but I really liked his design, especially his Mega design. So eventually Absol grew on me, and I started to like using Absol a lot more, especially with Sucker Punch. This thing's such a monster. So we have Absol on our team, which is nice, and now we can move out into the Team Aqua. I have no reason to show this part at all. I just want to have some parts to like slow down, talk about my team, you know, evolve most of my team member. Cacturne evolved a long time ago, but Blaziken and our model was able to evolve during the stretch of time before the next gym. Speaking of the next gym, we're going to head into the next gym and face off against Tate and Liza. Now, this fight on my recording says it took about 30 seconds. I'm going to start the battle off against Tate and Liza using my Absol and Cacturne. Both Dark-type Pokemon, and both very powerful, as I'm able to go for a Night Slash, one-shot the Solrock using my Absol, get a crit. I'm under level because I don't want to get over level for the next part, because the level cap for the next gym is 46, and this level cap is 45. And I'm saying this as I'm able to Night Slash, one-shot the Lunatone, and we get our 7th gym badge in the game very easily. From there, we can face off against, you know, a fight that's actually more formidable. We're going to face off against Archie next. Archie is the villain of Team Aqua, and we're going to start the battle off against him using my Absol. Now, Absol, maybe not the best play here because he got Scary Face, and then my best move is Rock Smash against the Mightyena. Now, with the Scary Face, I actually don't outspeed a lot of things. As you see, the Muck outspeeds me as I go for a Psycho Cut, so that's unfortunate. I can't use my Absol anymore. I was thinking about just using Absol, but I can switch out into my Plusle against the Crobat, and somehow Plusle does a lot of work. It lands the Thunder, knocks him out, and actually outspeed the Sharpedo, which I was kind of scared about because I can't switch out into anyone. So I'm able to just Discharge and knock out the Sharpedo, and yeah, we beat Archie. We'll take that. From there, we also get a TM for Earthquake. We're going to add that as we're going to face off against the next little mini boss. We're going to face off against Kyogre. You know, just a mini boss, Kyogre. Primal Kyogre is the mini boss of this game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Cacturne, and he has a very lucky Body Slam Paralyze as I get a very lucky Needle Arm crit. So we one-shot the Kyogre. We absolutely take that. I don't know what happened there, but we beat the Kyogre in record time. From there, we're going to face off against the 8th and final gym leader in the game. We're going to face off against Wallace next. Wallace is the 8th gym leader in the game. Also, a water type gym leader. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Plusle. Plusle is going to Discharge and one-shot Did love this super easily. His next Pokemon is obviously going to be a Wish Cash. I go out into my Cacturne. Needle Arm will obviously one-shot it. He does Mud Sport me, which is kind of annoying, so I got to waste some turns. Mud Sport does weaken Electric type moves, which kind of annoying. I go for a Spiky Shield, seeing if the Milotic still has Ice Beam. It does it does still have Ice Beam. I go for a Needle Arm against him. I live in Ice Beam, I know that. And then I assume Sucker Punch should be able to kill in this range, unless he goes for a heal. He doesn't. I mean, with Sucker Punch, knock out the Milotic. Could have been a little risky. From there, he switched out to Celio. Go out to my plus one next. Aurora Beam does not do a lot of damage to him, and also Discharge will one-shot the Celio. This puzzle does a lot of damage. Seaking comes out as his final Pokemon, and Discharge will knock him out, as we're able to beat down Wallace super easily. We'll take that. From there, we're going to head into Victory Road and just clear through Victory Road and also Wally. Poor Wally. Didn't stand a chance. From there, we're able to head into the Pokemon League. Set up in the Pokemon League. We bought 6 Lax instances. We're going to give them all to our Pokemon so they can avoid some moves better. And then we're going to head into the Elite Four and face off against the Elite Four. Our first Elite Four member we're going to face off against is going to be Sydney. Sydney's the Dark type Elite Four member of the game, and we're going to start the battle off against him using my Blaziken. Now Blaziken gets intimidated, but I go for a bulk up immediately. He goes for a takedown and then swagger me, and I was kind of annoyed at this point, but you know what? I pushed through it. As in, I go for attack again. I hit myself in confusion, which I did some like eye tests. You know, like I think I could live an attack if he hits me and I hit myself. So lucky enough, I don't hit myself. I'm able to power punch and knock out the Mightyena. From there though, I don't want to hit myself against the Shift Tree, so I decided to switch out into my Breloom, and Breloom has Sky Uppercut, and it's gonna knock out the rest of Sydney's team. So I one shot the Shift Tree, outspeed the Absol and one shot it. And then next time I'm going to outspeed the Sharpedo as well. And from there, we're going to one-shot the Cacturne. And we're able to beat down Sydney pretty easily. He wastes some turns with Spiky Shield. We're able to just beat down Sydney super easily. And from there, we're going to move on into the next Elite Four member, which is going to take a little more time. We're going to face off against Phoebe next. Phoebe is the Ghost type Elite Four member. We're going to start the battle off against her Dusclops using my Dark type Cacturne. It's also, Grass and Dark. A Feint Attack does a lot of damage to the Dusclops, but it confuses me, kind of annoying. But lucky enough, it doesn't want to hit itself, so Cacturne's actually goated. Feint Attack twice to knock out the Dusclops. Her next Pokemon will be a Dusknoir, which I go for a Spiky Shield. Does a little damage to him, and from there I could go for a Sucker Punch. Almost one-shots him, but he gets a Fire Punch off against me very luckily, and I'm able to go for a Feint Attack into a Sucker Punch to knock him out. I use a lot of Sucker Punch PP from this. Yeah, remember this. Forgot he had pressure. From there, she's going to switch out to her Sableye, which I don't have an idea to do. I mean, I could go out with my Blaziken. Blaziken's pretty good. You know how he was struggling early on with physical attacks? Well, Blaze Kick, critical, first time, knocks out the Sableye. Her next Pokemon will be a Bayonet, which I go for a Blaze Kick, one-shot it as well. And our final Pokemon will be another Bayonet, which I one-shot. And things are looking pretty easy for us, actually. From there, we're going to move out and face off against Glacier. Next, Glacier is the Ice type Elite Four member in the game. Now I did a stream like a couple days ago where I did a Pokemon Emerald Hardcore Nuzlocke, and this is around the place where I died with 16 deaths. So you see a drastic difference between streaming and not streaming. 0 deaths. Also I'm playing on ORAS, not Emerald, so it's a lot different. But anyways, I'm gonna start the battle off against her using my Absol to Sword Stance in front of her Glalie. Kind of unfortunate that Absol is not faster than it, but I'm able to Night Slash one-shot the Glalie with a crit. Pretty nice. Her next Pokemon will be a Frostlass, which I avoided Blizzard. You know, that was all skill. Then her next Pokemon will be another Frostlass, which does a lot of damage with Blizzard. So lucky enough, that first one didn't hit. We're able to knock out all the Frostlasses, and then her next Pokemon will be a Walrein, which kind of difficult to deal with. So I went out into my Plusle. Now Plusle, lucky enough, I'm able to discharge into the Walrein, get it paralyzed, and then another very skillful dodge with Blizzard. I could have went for Thunder, but I think Thunder would have like killed all my chances if it missed. But I'm able to discharge, knock out the Walrein. 2 more discharges will knock out the Walrein, and our final Pokemon will be a Glalie. And then finally, I can switch out into my Armaldo to make its debut. And Armaldo is able to go for a Smackdown, one-shot the Glalie with a crit. And we're able to beat down Glacier. Now moving on, we're going to face off against Drake next. Drake's going to be the Dragon type Elite Four member of the game. And he's going to start the battle off against us using an Altaria. For some reason, I didn't process that Altaria might have a very strong move called Moonblast. Luckily enough, the Lax instances come in clutch because it goes for a Moonblast and I dodge it. So I gotta switch out of here before it does some damage against me. I went out to Marimaldo. I survived a Moonblast pretty easily. I'm able to go for some Smackdowns against him. And then eventually, I'm trying to get some Ancient Power boost. Eventually, I'm able to knock out the Armaldo, but I take some damage against me. His next Pokemon will be a Kingdra, which I go out into my Breloom. Breloom's able to Rock Tomb into the Kingdra, lower his speed, and then Seed Bomb it. Maybe I should have done that inversely, but that's okay. His next Pokemon will be a Flygon, which I gotta switch out into my Cacturne. Cacturne's able to get Screech down. This is actually very important, because this Flygon actually lulls me into a fake sense of security. I go for a Nidoran against him. Do not do a lot of damage, you know, I'm not gonna lie. So I switch out into my Blaziken. I assume he's gonna keep using Flamethrower against me. I thought he had nothing against me. I go for a Blaze Kick, doesn't knock him out. I take a Boom Burst easily, as you can see. I Power Punch into a Blaze Kick to knock out this Flygon. Obviously, it does knock him out. And then his next Flygon comes out. And then I remember Flygon's a ground type. And he goes for an Earthquake, and I forgot about it. Because the other Flygon didn't do anything like that. He went for a Boom Burst and Flamethrower against my Blaziken. Flygon kills my Blaziken. And I go out to my Absol. Does a lot of damage to my Absol as well. And at least I knock him out with my Absol. His next Pokemon will be a Salamence. I don't have any way of stopping this thing. So I switched out into my Breloom. He gets Thunder Fang. Lucky enough, he has Effect Sport. He poisons down the Salamence at least. And then I could go out into my Plusle. I take a Zen Headbutt, which honestly, thinking back to it, I should have switched out into my Absol. But I went out to my Plusle because I have an idea to Toxic Stall him at this point. I'm able to go for a Charm to lower his attack stat. He goes for a Dragon Rush and crushes me, crits me, and that's just so annoying. So, you know what? At this point, I just went out. I went out to my Cacturne, which honestly should have done that from the start. I go for a Spiky Shield, blocks the hit, and then goes down to lower HP. Sucker Punch, my last Sucker Punch should be able to kill at this range, and it is. I'm able to kill the Salamence as I lose two pretty good Pokemon. Plusle and Blaziken, very consistent Pokemon on my team, are gone forever. Now, next up, we're going to face off against the champion to get in the final battle of the game, which I enjoy more than a Wallace fight anyways. We're going to start the battle off against Steven Stone using my Breloom, using my Amaldo. Now, the reason why I want to use Amaldo, because I want to use Smackdown and then Earthquake to get a super effective hit on him. And it does work pretty well, as I'm able to dodge his Steel Wing, and then 2 more Earthquakes would knock him out. So, you know what? We'll take that. I don't know why all my Pokemon are so slow, though. We're able to beat the Skarmory. His next Pokemon will be an Aggron, which I'm able to Earthquake into him. And surprise Stone Edge hits me. I'm able to barely live a Stone Edge, Earthquake to knock him out. His next Pokemon will be a Cradily. And look at this. X-Scissor. Oh my god, that's so nasty. Amaldo knocks out 3 Pokemon. Could have got a 4th if he had a little more HP. As his own Amaldo comes out, knocks out mine, which is so unfortunate. Could have kept them alive, honestly, but I think it's better. Didn't risk that. Went out to my Breloom next. Breloom's gonna bulk up in front of him, dodge an X-Scissor. Lax Incense coming in. He also hits me in the next turn, gets himself asleep, and then I could go for 2 more bulk ups, which is very nice. I don't want to risk it because he's gonna wake up and do some more damage, but I'm going for a Seed Bomb to knock out the Armato, and then one shot the Claydol. And then from there, he's gonna switch out to his Mega Metagross, which I hope this was enough. I go for a Sky Uppercut, does not do enough, but I could barely live a Zen Headbutt as I go for a second Sky Uppercut, crit him, and then knock him out as we're able to beat down Steven Stone. We lose another Pokemon in our model. We have 3 deaths at the end of this, even though at the time I was talking about 0 deaths not too long ago. But anyways, we cleared through this challenge pretty easily. Besides Shiny Hunting, once I was done with Shiny Hunting, this challenge sped through very quickly. Anyways, that will be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you guys can, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. And also comment down what kind of hardcore Nuzlocke shiny videos you guys want to see. I try to mix it up sometimes. So I want to do ORAS this time, but I think I ran out of typing, so I'm not gonna lie. So I came up with a new one. Anyways, that will be the end of my video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Anyways, my name's been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day, and I'm out. Peace.